over there in the corner by the door, so everyone else could see it.
Yeah. It wouldn't be all bad, I suppose.
I'm gonna see if I got one lying around the house. I can throw it out.
I think that'd be kind of fun.
Grandfather clock.
Yeah,
I think it's
It's
time.
probably one in the
let's
garage.
go.
How far?
Start with the flag salute. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Welcome to the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. It's March 30th, 2023. And on my left is Commissioner Aaron Mays, who represents District 3. On my right is Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2. I'm Bill Rippon, and I represent District 1. Madam Clerk, what's first on the agenda?
First item is item 3, consent agenda.
I would move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Commissioners, this morning we have vouchers that total $1,884,591.77. The highlights out of that voucher report, under County Project and Equipment Fund, we have Shawnee Mission Ford Incorporated totaling $252,940, which is for the purchase of 5 Ford SUVs for the Sheriff's Department. Under the Sheriff, we have Tyler Technologies for $17,972.61. That's the Civil Service Annual Support licensure. Under Sewer Districts, Bartlett and West, $10,539.24 is for project administration inspection of the Sherwood Collection Systems rehabilitation. Under allocations, we have Vallejo for $500,000. Under the holding accounts for the state of Kansas, $217,536.62. Under our health insurance premiums for our employees, $225,740.40. And then finally, under workers' compensation, we have $87,629.17. I don't have any questions regarding the vouchers and would move for their approval.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I'll move that we approve the correction orders.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item B, Public Works number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-117-2023 with Jackson County Rural Water District number 1, permitting the relocation of 1 or possibly 2 water lines to clear the construction of a bridge on Northwest 78th Street over the tributary to Half Day Creek. A lump sum cost not to exceed $154,150 will be for the 8-inch water line, with an additional cost of $170,150 only if necessary for the second 12-inch water line, to be paid from the 2017 through 2031 countywide sales tax program specifically allocated for county bridges.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. I can really only add some details to what the county clerk said. We believe, quite frankly, we're on the hook for the 8-inch relocation. It is definitely going to be impacted by our bridge replacement project. It's highly unlikely, though, that we will get into the 12-inch water line, so we believe that is on the outside of probability that we'll have to pay the additional $170,000. So I'm here before you requesting that you authorize and execute a contract with Jackson County Rural Water District number 1 to complete this work, whether it's likely or unlikely. Questions?
So, Kurt, we're paying for it, they're doing the work? Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Them or a third party.
Or
Yeah,
contractor.
Yeah.
How long will this disrupt water service to people?
Not very, shouldn't very long, yeah. They'll be able to do their work and with minimal impact to the public.
Just a really redundant question, but even though it says Jackson County Rural Water District, this is work that's being done in Shawnee County.
Yeah, but rural water districts cross Shawnee, county lines, and so that's the reason for that.
Again, just for those that are watching that may not know, we're not doing work in Jackson County.
Correct.
All right, just, okay, thank you.
Good to delineate that. If there's no other questions, I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item B2, consider awarding a bid to Conroy Contractors, Inc. of Topeka, Kansas for the Shawnee County North Annex Parking Lot Repair Project at a cost of $71,266.69, and authorization and execution of contract C-118-2023 for same. The project will be paid by using the Building, Roof, and Parking Lot Fund.
Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. Great news, we got 7 bidders.
Wow.
And the spread was $100,000 in the bids. But the low bid was by Conroy Contractors Incorporated. They coincidentally are working across the street on the new, I think, Torgerson Electric facility. So we're very pleased with the bid results, and we're asking that you authorize and execute a contract for them to do the construction with a start time as yet unknown. Your questions are valued.
This is concrete, all this?
Yes, yes, sir.
Any other question?
I'll move for approval.
I would second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item B3, consider authorization and execution of contract C-119-2023 and authority to award contract between KDOT and King Construction Company, Inc. for a bridge replacement project on Northwest 66th Street over Indian Creek, and approval to remit to KDOT the county's commitment of matching funds in the amount of $195,000. These matching funds will utilize specifically allocated county bridge funds from the 2017 to 2031 countywide sales tax program.
For the final time, Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. Back in December of 2021, we entered into an agreement with KDOT in which we would pay 20% of the combined construction and construction engineering cost, and KDOT would pay 80%. KDOT had a letting on March 22nd, and 2 bidders placed bids on a bridge replacement project on Northwest 66th over Indian Creek. Just for everyone's reference, that's about 200 feet east of Topeka Boulevard. What I'm here before you to accomplish is, number one, the low bid came in at approximately $882,000 because, again, we have a contract with KDOT to pay 20% of that cost. They are wanting to make sure that Shawnee County is okay with that bid amount. My recommendation is the bid amount is satisfactory, and we move forward with KDOT awarding a bid to King Construction. Now, one thing that's very important here, we are not involved in the contract with King Construction. This is a contract between KDOT and King Construction. KDOT is just asking the county is if that amount awarded is okay. And the reason they do that is because sometimes these project costs end up being a lot higher than the county anticipated. And for small counties, they may not be able to afford the higher cost. So in our case, it's a good cost, it's a good bid, let's move forward. And so the second thing I'm asking for is, basically, we've been invoiced for $195,000. And so I'm here before you asking you to basically approve that cost so we can remit a check or payment to KDOT for that amount. Questions?
Does KDOT generally do the bidding on, let the bid on these things, or?
Remember, this is technically a KDOT project.
Okay.
They have merely, we were going to do the project anyway, but we submitted it for local funds, and we were selected. But
Okay.
technically, this is a KDOT project.
All right.
But King Construction, we've worked with on numerous projects. They're very reputable in what they do, and this appears by all accounts to be a good bid for this project.
Absolutely. We were just pleased that King bid on it and was awarded, or will be, we hope will be awarded the contract.
So given that, I would motion to approve the request from KDOT to proceed with King, and then also a motion to approve the expenditure of the $195,000 as the Shawnee County portion of that bill.
Correct.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Kurt. Next item.
Item C, Parks and Recreation, number 1, request a first reading of Home Rule Resolution HR 2023-1 to amend Shawnee County Code Article 3, County Properties, Section 4-81, selling or serving of alcoholic liquor or cereal malt beverages on county property, and Section 4.82, possession and consumption of alcoholic liquor or cereal malt beverages on county property, to include the Great Overland Station and stanchion areas adjoining the facility. In addition, the resolution updates the name of the Kansas Expo Center to the Stormont Vale Event Center.
Good morning. We'll see if we can make that a little longer next time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
No, so as she stated, this is a request to do a first reading to amend 2 sections of county code. The first one is essentially updating the name Kansas Expo Center to the current name of the Stormont Vale Event Center. The second one is to add Great Overland Station to the list of county facilities alcohol can be consumed at. So be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Jim, I have a question. It's the first reading. We have to,
Yeah, this is a proposed home rule resolution change. So
Okay.
we will do 2 readings of it. Today, we will just simply introduce the resolution, consider it, you can ask questions.
but we don't take any action
But
today.
you're not going to take action
Okay.
until it's
All right.
put back on for its second reading.
Very good.
Typically, the next action meeting.
Okay.
So, if I may,
Sure.
I'm looking at this and the list of places that are exempted from these provisions. The event center, the golf courses, campground, the ski club, yacht club, rowing building, the Lake Shawnee Event Center, Prairie Town, and the Great Overland Station. And then what is this, the spectator seating area is adjacent to Jerry Roberts Field at the Bettis?
Yeah, I don't want to speak, I believe there used to be a beer garden up there when the Golden Giants or whatever was the most recent name, I apologize.
Okay.
But I believe that was when that was established, when we had that up there for
Okay.
those teams. I don't think that's an active thing that we do often by any means.
So are there any other venues that we feel ought to be included in this?
I think this was the only one that we thought was not currently reflected in this resolution, in the code. So I believe this is where we're at with the ones. I can obviously absolutely make sure, but to my knowledge, these are the ones that we felt we were deficient in as far as weren't listed and needed to be.
Okay. I asked because I know that Invista, I believe, had like a showcase for
And I think
like
that-
an adult softball, Olympic softball team or something a while back, right? Like,
I think that falls more, and Jim can correct me if I'm wrong, but the one prior, so the 4-81. So I think they are allowed to sell alcohol with the director's permission.
Okay.
On certain circumstances. This is more so just consuming in possession on site.
okay.
This is Jim Kraus, Shawnee County Councilor. That is correct. The characterization.
Okay. All right. So the only new facility you're adding is the Great Overland Station?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I don't have any opposition to this home rule, just for the record. I will not be present next Thursday when it would be considered, as I am going to be volunteering at Robinson Middle School to teach young people about government and county commissioners and what they do. And so, since I'm not going to be present, I'm just putting on the record that I do support this resolution.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, so noted. All right.
I'll move for approval.
Well, do we have?
We don't
approve it?
Oh, okay.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, it's a reading, that's right.
Yeah. Thank you, Ashley. Or do you have any other questions?
No.
Jesse.
Jessica. Jessica.
It's all right. Thank
All
you.
right.
Will you withdraw your motion, sir?
Yeah, I'll withdraw my motion.
All right. Thank
you.
you, Ashley. Next item.
Item D, County Councilor, number 1, discussion of approval of a resolution to redistrict county commission districts.
Can you hear me? Good morning, Jim Crowell, Shawnee County Councilor. This is not a home rule resolution, but I do recommend that we do 2 readings of this, just to give the public an opportunity to weigh in with any thoughts. And I'm going to discuss, if I can get there with the mouse, proposed redistricting for Board of County Commissioners commission districts. Pursuant to state statute, KSA 19204, we are required to look at redistricting every 3 years. We also have a special statute just for Shawnee County, because we're special, I guess, that requires us to have an equal number of residents in the unincorporated areas and as equal as possible number of residents in the incorporated areas. Incorporated areas include the city of Topeka, city of Auburn, city of Willard, city of Rossville, and city of Silver Lake. So we have to account for those incorporated areas when we try to do the math on this and make it work. Through court decisions that have evolved over time, what we want to really do is get these differences down below at 5% or down below if possible. And so that's the goal of this. So if you look at the existing commission district map, and that's what's been presented to you, the populations that are given are the populations after the 2020 census. So those are the official numbers following the 2020 census. And I want to thank, before I forget, Lee Allen in mapping and Jake Fisher, who's here, and Andrew Howell at the election office, and all the folks that helped work with me to try to put together a proposed map. I hope the 3 of you like it. If not, we can change it. But it's a proposed map. What I'm going to present will work for the election office and put us within the legal framework to be in compliance with court decisions that have interpreted redistricting actions. So this is our current map. This is our current population. Right now, between the largest district and the smallest district, so that's between 1 and 2, there's about a 5.44% difference. Not huge, not hugely out of where we want to be compliance-wise, but we can take a few movements in commission districts, in the commission districts, in the precincts, and arrive below that figure. So let me see if I can show you what I'm proposing. And that should cover everything. So what we're proposing to do with the new commission districts is we would take Pawnee, which is 43, and that's in the unincorporated area, from District 3 to District 2. We would take and we would flip some districts surrounding Lake Sherwood. So Sherwood 92 would go from District 3 to District 1. South Sherwood 93 would go from District 1 to District 3, and Sunflower 86 would go from District 1 to District 3. That gives you the new population totals with that. And let me show you a map that shows you how we end up. What we're trying to do around Sherwood, instead of having a situation where we have District 1, District 3, District 1, District 3. We've put the District 1 precincts together and the District 3 precincts together. That helps the math, and that helps us to get us overall down to 4.076% difference. So that complies with the court decisions that are in place. I want to point out one more change that the election office recommended that we make, and you're not going to be able to see the numbers, but this strong red line right here is a district that was drawn by the state of Kansas, and it just simply goes along a roadway. It is within the incorporated area, but it has 0 people in it. And it will have 0 people in it because it's simply a roadway. And to help the election office out, we want to merge precinct 111 with precinct 14 in District 2, and that'll allow them to merge that. So it's not reflected on the map because you can't really see it on this map. It is reflected in the proposed resolution that is in your packet. That's also available to the public. I've also included a spreadsheet that was created in my office to show you where the numbers come from if anybody wants to take a look at the spreadsheet and dive into this. Those are the proposed changes that we've made. We'd like you to hear it again in 1 week, if possible, or give me another date that you would like to hear it. And those are the basics of what we've come up with for redistricting, and I'll be happy to try to answer any questions you might have.
Jim, do we have a deadline with the state on when this has to be?
We don't have a deadline. We have a statute that says we have to look at it every 3 years. We also have court decisions that create a presumption that we may want to look at it if it's above 5%. We really need to look at it if the discrepancies get above 10%. By making the changes that I propose, will go below 5% to 4.076 based upon the 2020 census numbers.
Okay. And then you would be bringing this back in a week if that's, I think that's adequate.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Just, again, this is a bit of a yeoman's task for Mr. Crowell to take on, considering he has to regulate the incorporated and unincorporated areas, providing that balance and parity between all 3 districts, and then also looking at making sure that we're not making such drastic changes to the map that people wonder, is there gerrymandering going on? These are very few changes. I support this. This is a clean map. It varies very little from our current map that we've had in place now, and it really does not vary that much from the maps that have been placed for decades. So I think this is a good, clean map. And again, I will not be here next Thursday due to a commitment to the community, but I support this resolution when it comes before the commission if I am not here.
And thank you for that, and that's really what we were trying, that was our goal, to try to do it in the least number of new moves possible, to disrupt the least number of people possible, to get back into good compliance.
It does clean up some lines, some odd shaped kind of precincts and or districts the way they were aligned before. So
At least out in the Lake Sherwood area, it kind of squares things off
It
a little
does.
bit. And
So we kind of flip our districts there on the lake, so, but it's fine. All right. Any other questions or comments?
No.
All right, well, thank you, Jim. I know you labored over this for hours.
It's a little more difficult than it looks, and it's that dual incorporated, unincorporated issue, but thank you for
A lot
that.
of number crunching there.
Yeah.
Thank you, and everybody else who was involved. Next item.
Item 5, public comment.
I don't have anyone signed up, but if there's anyone here from the public that'd like to speak, here's your chance. Seeing none. Next item.
Item 6, administrative communications.
Okay.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mike Augustine with Human Resources. Every year, Human Resources publishes their annual Employee Open Enrollment Benefits Guide for Shawnee County employees. To enhance and truly make the guide reflective of Shawnee County employees, we use pictures of Shawnee County employees and their families and coworkers. Human Resources is now collecting those photos from employees of themselves, their families, and their coworkers. The insurance committee will select 12 winning photos to include in the 2024 benefits guide. Winners will receive a $15 gift card and have their photo submission included in the 2024 benefits guide in October that goes out to all employees. The deadline for employee submissions is April 5th. Submissions should be emailed to Human Resources directly to Angela Lewis, Director. Questions?
Mike, you got your, glamour shot planned out at Lake Shawnee. Yeah,
Of course.
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Craig Barnes, Health Department. Just wanted to take the opportunity this morning to just provide a brief update. As you all saw yesterday with the media release, the annual county health rankings were released for this year. So that is an annual report that's put out by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation in partnership with the University of Wisconsin Population Health Institute. Couple of pieces to the health rankings this year. Each year, they rank as many of the counties as they possibly can in Kansas. So this year, they were able to rank 104 of those counties. And for this year in health outcomes, we ranked 79th out of those 104. And for health factors, we ranked 45th. So excited to say that for our health factors, that is the highest ranking that Shawnee County has seen, at least in the time that I've been here with the county, so the last decade. And from looking at the data before that, from the county health rankings, it may be our highest ranking that we've ever seen. And I think that's a major accomplishment, and kudos to the amazing partners and organizations in our community that are doing a lot of great work. Our health behaviors ranking within the health factors ranked at 19th, so we were actually in the top 20, and that is a drastic improvement from where we have been in the past. And I want to give a special recognition to Shawnee County Parks and Recreation, simply because our access to physical activities and opportunities in our community is one of the highest in the state. And that would not be achievable without the amazing work that our Shawnee County Parks and Recreation Department is doing. One thing I did want to point out as well, where our health outcomes at 79th may look like it's in the lowest quartile here in the county or in the state. Surprisingly enough, a majority of our measures actually stayed the same or improved. So we are seeing improvements. What we may not be improving at the same rate as some of our other counties. I did want to call out, while that ranking number itself does look low, we are actually making improvements in those areas. And so it's really exciting to see how these factors rank out. One additional thing that I wanted to mention, in May, we will host our annual community conversation on the county health rankings. This is an opportunity to bring together a diverse set of stakeholders that we have here in our community to look at and analyze the status of health in our community. It's an opportunity to go over our community health improvement plan, the processes for our community health needs assessment, and it's a great partnership that we've had with our Grassroots Health Coalition, Heartland Healthy Neighborhoods, to put this on each year. This will be, I think, the 6th year that we'll be putting it on. We've had as much as 70 different organizations represented at those community meetings, and so excited to see how this year's will unfold as well. So look for an announcement next week to come out for the date and time for that. Next week is National Public Health Week, so we will actually be doing some deeper dives into the specific rankings next week, as well as acknowledging some of our community partnerships throughout the week that work to improve the health of our community, because we cannot do it alone as a health department. So, questions that you may have for us today?
Craig, I
Yeah.
was wondering if you get scheduled for a work session where we dig into the weeds a little bit more on this.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we were looking at was doing it as a Board of Health meeting, doing a deeper
Right.
dive into it at that point in time, but we can definitely look at an opportunity as a work session. We'll communicate with you all and see what works best.
Do them both at the same time, would that be, I guess we could
I
do
think
that.
we can do that.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I would just combine them and do
Yeah.
that. That sounds good.
I think
Get
it
with
sounds a great
Susie
idea.
and get-
If
get
Jim's
on the
nodding,
calendar.
I think we're good to go, so.
He's giving us the thumbs up. Very good.
Any other questions today?
Any other questions?
Yeah, it's good, progress, right?
Indeed,
Yeah.
yes.
Love it.
All right. Thank you, Commissioners.
Anyone else? Commissioner Cook?
Last night, I attended a meeting in Oakland that was sponsored by Councilwoman Valdivia Alcala, addressing homelessness in the community. I know that there is a larger meeting that will be taking place on April the 5th, talking about homelessness. This is not just an Oakland issue. This is and not just a Topeka issue or a Shawnee County issue. This is a nationwide issue, and looking at how we address that. And I think that is getting as many people and stakeholders to the table as possible is key in addressing that for our community. Last night was more of a listening session than a talking session. So hearing some of the frustrations and how people view the issue in their community and within their neighborhood, and being able to then take that back to the stakeholders to say, how can we address that? And so I think that there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and I think the county should have a role in that, in addressing that with the entire county. So, thank you.
See, you're sporting a lot of
You know,
Kansas City Royals.
I am ready for opening day. I'm ready to go play in center field and put me in coach.
We'll think that over. Commissioner Mace?
Well, speaking of baseball, I think Bettis has their first baseball tournament starting tomorrow night, so exciting. Back to springtime in Shawnee County. Love seeing that, so that's all I got though.
Well, this next month is National County Government Month. I'll pause while you guys collect yourself. Anyway, but I'm glad to hear that Commissioner Cook is going to go out and work with a junior high. Is that right?
Yes,
Middle
yeah.
school? Very good, very good. For me, only thing I have to report is I helped volunteer out at Gage Park, the War Memorial, putting in bricks last Sunday. It was pretty fair weather. It was cool, but we had a lot of bricks to put in, and got to meet a lot of good veterans. It was a good day. Madam Clerk, do we have any, what's next?
Could I just ask one question?
Sure.
I know last week I was not here, but last week you announced that the Silver Lake Township, they submitted the clerk submitted their resignation. Was there an announcement that we were accepting?
There was not,
There was
but we
not.
probably should make
Yeah, see,
one.
I just asked
Okay.
if you could do that, just make, that you're taking applications or taking people's of interest or whatever that would be.
And that was the Silver
Silver
Lake
Lake
Township Clerk.
Clerk, yes.
Is open. Okay, well, if you would, anyone interested in that position, if you'd send your resumes to our office here,
Do we want to set a date for when we'll close?
I suppose.
The 4th will probably be too soon, because that's just next Thursday, but
Right.
typically we
Usually
give about 2
2
weeks.
That's okay.
Maybe the 13th or 14th, maybe.
And possibly we could have Mr. Fisher come up and address the fact that this position was just elected last November. So could you give us, if someone was appointed, if they was to have before,
So they would have to run again,
what their
right?
term, what'll happen so that they won't be surprised? I mean, I know elections have all these mysterious laws.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jake Fisher, Shawnee County Elections Office. I believe in this situation, I would have to review the statute. There's only 600 statutes that pertain to elections, and I have not mastered all 600 yet.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Clerk, for putting me on the spot.
I like doing that. That's a friend
I would say
before.
that I believe on this one, the individual would serve the remainder of the term for a township position, but I would have to confirm that.
You would have to bring it back for next week, maybe.
Would be happy to do that if the commission would so desire.
All right, so we can, anybody interested, if you'd submit your resume before at the deadline of the 13th, and I guess that'd be it.
Send them to the,
And they could live anywhere in Silver Lake Township?
yes,
And they have to be residents of that, right?
That's correct.
right.
All right, and send them to the Board of County Commissions.
That's correct.
So, all right,
Thank you.
all right.
Okay.
Thank you for,
Sure, I just, like I said, I wasn't here.
Always
and-
looking out for
I
us.
She
I do what I
does. She
can.
takes care of
And-
us.
And if I can do that, also embarrass Jake Fisher at the same time, my life is, my days have been accomplished. Item 7, executive session.
we have no need for an executive session, so we're adjourned.